Okay, we're looking at some siding work here. Looking at full tear off, going back with the Cedar Mill Select, doing a fascia overlay and drip edge replacement with Hardie. Soffit is in good condition. There's some soffit vents that have fallen that we just need to tack back up and seal and then paint the soffit, but everything else as far as the soffit goes is in good shape. We will be wrapping the garage door frames and painting the garage doors. This little gable vent, garage vent here, we're just going to paint that to match the new siding color. Sherry's thinking about going with something kind of in the darker tones that you see in the brick, kind of something along those lines, which I think will look really nice. So she has a good eye for that. So we'll be able to do a color consult with her and make sure it's exactly what she wants before we move on and continue with the painting. Up here we got a window. This is pretty much the extent of the siding on the left side. We got a little window box back here that you can see. Not much siding. There is a shed back there that we are going to Hardie. So we'll look at that here in a second when we walk around. But there's the extent of pretty much the left side and a small half gable here. All windows, the Sears did the windows. Had a really bad experience with Sears, broken glass, and actually the installers cut themselves and wiped it all over some of the drapery inside. I mean, he said it was just an absolute nightmare. So they did retrim the windows in a 1x4 clad, vinyl clad, so it's kind of a mess, and we would take all that off and retrim in a Hardie 1x4 just to give them the longevity of Hardie instead of that vinyl, which is going to start yellowing here in a little bit. Up under here we got the porch ceiling. We're just going to paint the porch ceiling just like we are the soffit. We are painting all 4 sets of shutters. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 sets of shutters that we're going to paint the siding color. But other than that, they're in good shape. They need to be re-tacked to the wall, but other than that, they're not broken or cracking or anything. Coming over to the right side, we do have some gutters, so the gutters are going to be a factor, especially here. You can see we got a long run of gutters here that will need to come down to do our fascia overlay and drip edge replacement. So we'll take them down, and we'll have most likely Chris McClendon put them back up. You can see here, this is our wall on the right side. 2 more windows in the vinyl clad that we would retrim with Hardie plank 1x4. Gate close. There we go. So that would all be done. The security lights can be reinstalled right there. But again, we have some water infiltration. They've had a handyman out several times to fix rot, so we don't want to mess around with that. We want to tear off. Looks like one of the seals up there is already broken on the window. But we'll do a full tear off, go back to the studs with an OSB, do all our seam tape flashing, and then do the Hardie plank system with the Cedar Mill Select. Got a little nice bump out here. It has some rot right under the window that we can see right there. Another reason why we'd want to do a full tear off. Again, all windows and siding are with a vinyl clad wood. Chimney's been problematic. They've had a handyman out several times to fix the chimney. So going to the Hardie plank and making sure that's all nice and tight and sealed correctly and flashed is going to eliminate that problem from happening again. You can see right there with that dark spot. That's actually because the siding's kind of indented there. And it looks like that was probably one of the problems with the chimney, but definitely some warping and rot going on up there. Basically here on the back patio, we have 2 4x4 posts, one right here and one right there. They have a 1x4 base molding on them. So we're going to wrap those 4x4 posts and then do a 1x4 base molding down here just to prevent any kind of rot there. Here we have the chimney underneath the porch. That'll all become Hardie plank, and we're going to paint the porch ceiling. This beam right along here, that's going to be wrapped in Hardie just like the 4x4s. Again, we got more gutters, so gutters going to have to be an R&R. We got a small little, there's some different kind of tricky areas here. We got this little guy and a couple other areas that you can't really see unless we were to go back here. You can kind of see it right back up in there. There's about a 16 foot by 8 foot high gable. and it does have a window in it that we would wrap to. You can barely see it back up in there, so that would be included. We have this set of French doors right there, and this set of French doors that would be painted to match the body color of the siding. Coming over here to the left side, this is our shed. Hopefully hanging on to some daylight here. This is a shed that obviously has seen some better days, so we're gonna have to repair this rod on the door, and then basically this whole thing, this whole shed, it's 4 foot by 8 foot, will become Hardie plank to match the house. And here you can see the fascia, the drip edge. There's no metal drip, so it's probably pretty important on this that we go back with a Hardie drip so we can prevent any kind of future rot or issues that are going to happen inevitably because of the exposed drip. Here's our little, that's close up. Getting eaten by mosquitoes. So here we have a little window box that will be retrimmed again in 1x4 Hardie, and then all this siding on here will become Hardie plank as well. Here's that wall we were looking at earlier. So that's pretty much our extent, the extent of our scope of work. And we look forward to working on the project, and thank you guys so much for having us out.